Welcome to today's Explainer. Have you ever stopped to think about what's literally miles beneath the Earth's crust? I mean, we're so used to looking up at the sky or out across these massive oceans for resources, right? But we totally forget about the crazy mysteries locked away deep inside our own planet. We're talking about untouched resources down there, completely isolated from the world as we know it, just waiting to be found. So today, we're jumping right into one of the most fascinating geological puzzles out there. Okay, let's dive into this. Primary water. Now, that isn't just some random label. It's the core mystery we're going to unravel today. When you hear this exact phrase, straight from the source material published by Explotec, you've got to realize we are stepping way outside everyday geology here. We're talking about something super rare, totally distinct, and honestly, something that kind of flips our basic assumptions about the Earth's resources right on their head. So unlike the standard surface water cycle we all learned about in school, rain, evaporation, that whole loop, primary water doesn't play by those rules. It's totally independent. The source defines it as a conceptual term for water that is newly formed deep within the Earth. Just imagine that for a second. Water being synthesized, basically created fresh, from geological processes happening way down in the mantle. It's completely untouched by the atmosphere or the surface world. It's absolutely crucial to grasp the rarity here. We're talking about a completely separate reservoir of life-giving water sitting right beneath our feet.
I really want to reiterate this exact text from our source because it's just that important. Primary water. When Explotec goes after this stuff, they aren't just looking for some standard underground aquifer or typical runoff reservoir. No way. They are hunting for virgin water. Honestly, finding it is kind of like discovering a hidden sealed-off room in a house you've lived in your entire life. It really forces us to ask some massive questions about the Earth's internal mechanics and just how much is actually locked away in the dark down there.
But okay, that brings us to a huge, totally practical hurdle. It's one thing to conceptualize this deeply buried water in theory, right? But it's a completely different beast to actually go out and locate it. So how do we explore this? How on earth do we peer through literally miles of solid bedrock to find something that is by its very definition hidden away from the surface? We know the water's there conceptually, but crossing that bridge from theory to actually finding it, well, that takes a massive leap in methodology. We basically need a way to see the unseen.
Which brings us right to our main exploration question, finding the unseen.
And the answer lies in Explotec isotope exploration. Yeah, it's a heavy phrase for sure, but it represents a massive leap into cutting-edge science to map the unknown. This isn't just some marketing tagline, it's a real statement of intent. It's the advanced terminology for deploying highly specialized science to literally look straight through solid rock and map out the absolute depths of our planet.
Let's actually deconstruct this phrase piece by piece so we can see the narrative structure of what's going on here. Step 1 is Explotec. That's the entity, the driving force, the organization pouring their efforts into this massive challenge. Step 2, isotopes. That's the science. We're talking about highly complex, invisible atomic signatures that exist all around us, and more importantly, deep below us. And step 3 is exploration, the mission, the relentless pursuit of uncovering what's hidden. So you've got the entity, the science, and the mission. Put them all together and you've got this completely airtight, powerful strategy.
So the crucial point is, how is this science actually applied? Well, isotope exploration uses isotopic signatures as a high-tech mapping tool to identify and trace subterranean elements. You see, because primary water has a completely different origin story than surface water, it carries a totally unique chemical fingerprint, a specific isotopic signature. By reading these atomic clues, Explotec isn't just throwing darts in the dark. They're using a wildly advanced technological solution to map out the underground world. It's literally like a highly sensitive compass pointing directly to our buried treasure.
And this brilliantly illustrates the whole dynamic at play here. You've got this super elusive target, primary water, and you match it with this incredibly precise method, isotope exploration. The target is just way too isolated and deep to ever be found by conventional drilling, so this specific atomic map is really the only viable way to track it down. It creates this perfect conceptual link between the hidden water and the insane technology needed to uncover it.
To bring this all together, let's quickly summarize these core components directly from the source material. We've got the target, primary water. We've got the tool, isotope exploration. And we have the entity orchestrating the whole shebang, Explotec. These aren't just isolated ideas, right? They fuse together into one hyper-focused exploration strategy. By applying an advanced scientific tool to a totally radical geological concept, they're opening up an entirely new frontier of resource discovery. And hey, this isn't just some academic exercise. This is about unlocking a fundamentally new source of life-giving water for our future.
Which leaves us with a pretty massive, vital question. What does the future of primary water exploration hold? If Explotec can actually use isotope exploration to map and unlock reservoirs of newly formed water deep within the Earth, how does that fundamentally change our understanding of the planet's resources? We've looked at the methodology and the sheer significance of the target today, but the implications of what they might discover next, hidden miles below our feet, it's truly limitless. Definitely something to think about the next time you pour yourself a glass of water. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and remember to always keep questioning what lies beneath the surface.